Good day and welcome back. So this is the next installment in the GT-40 Mark II build, and I've gotten as far as pretty much installing the engine. This is not going very quickly, and a lot of this is due to the way this build works, and it's me just not being familiar with the subject or the techniques or pretty much what we're doing. So I talk my way through this a little bit later, so instead of waffling on about it right now, I'll just go ahead and we'll cut to it. This is again, this is a learning experience for me, so I hope you enjoy the trip. Let's see what we've got. Alright, so we're going to jump straight into the exhaust pipes. I lost all the video for working on the model up to this point. Putting these pieces of the engine together were pretty straightforward. The cool thing is it pretty much is snug fit, and I had to only use a very little bit of glue. So the real fun comes into working with these, with a bundle of snakes, I guess is what they're called. They're very distinctive exhaust pipes, and they fit together well, but there are seams that can be seen. So you got to kind of be creative on how you clean those up. The two side the first two sets you put in step 10, you kind of need to make sure that they are flat so that then these main pieces go together. And I did have to put multiple clamps and alligator clips in to just hold them tight to seal them down. Now I will find out over time that there's a seam there I'm going to need to go back and clean up, and that's fine. We'll talk about color here in a minute, right? But the first thing was just getting those in, getting them glued up so that we could then go back and get them done. The next thing I needed to go ahead and do is get moving on fixing it, and not fixing it, but just detailing a little bit. While I was waiting, I could just go ahead and put this wash in to bring out some of the detail at the top. I don't want to make it look muddy and dirty and gunky, but then I could go ahead and clean up the seams that were left over on the two main pipes. And it doesn't take much. Like I said, most of the stuff's going to be hidden. I'm not going to display this thing with the back open likely, but I'd like to be able to if I could. So it doesn't hurt to do this right. Then I go ahead and do the rear suspension. Well, I guess the rear brakes, wheels. I guess it's not really the suspension. It's the brakes, the brake assemblies. And they just go together in 4 parts, including these poly caps for the wheel, which is kind of neat. Cleanup's not hard. It's there. Just you really kind of want to watch the nibs. And then there's a spot right there that you can see when I bring this together that'll help you center and make it look nice and tight. You can make the seam go away if you're clean. So that's what I'm doing there. So I do the one, and then I go get the other pieces for the other one. And I did, take these apart and put them together, one set then the other set, just because I don't know what these parts are. So it would be easy for me to get messed up as far as orientation and try and put the wrong parts together. So I just went and did them like this. Again, you car guys probably know exactly what these things are, and it'd fall together in your head. You could throw them all in a box and figure it out, but not me. With that there, then I went and I got the two pieces for the shaft, and I found that when I was doing this, there's a mucking big seam, so I have to go back and clean it up with a knife. I can't really get a sanding stick in there to do it, and I realize probably you're not going to see any of this unless you flip the car over and do whatever. So, but I did it anyway. Again, just to kind of go through the steps, go through the do it right. And then because I wasn't sure if I had the right one in, I just fit it on the car. Because remember when I said only do one and take one off, but then I had clipped them both off. So whoops. But anyway, just clean the pieces up, get them put in place, and once I had those glued in together, then it was just put them on a stick to go paint. And then once I'd sprayed those down, then I go back and I'm touching up where I had to sand down and clean up the seams here. Again, I'm just using gunmetal paint, which is matching the pipes. Now, here's where I'll talk about color. I don't know what these are supposed to look like. I think they're supposed to be all metal, heat faded, but I struggle with that, and I don't know what to do. So I may go back and muck with that with oils. We'll see. Now, we'll talk about that here in a sec. But here, I just go ahead. The next step here is once I painted the wheel assemblies, I can just go ahead and slide them in. Now, I fiddle with these a bit. They're snug. I really didn't need to glue these. I really, really did not need to glue these. But I did anyway, just to be safe. But these are a really nice tight fit, especially with the layer of paint that's in there. Even though I trimmed some of that off, it's still pretty snug. And just hitting it with a shot of extra thin fast, that's just going to lock those in place, and I'll be comfortable with those. I suppose I could do those seams now that I'm looking at it. I don't know that I need to, so I probably won't because I'm not sure what it's supposed to look like. So I think we'll just run with it the way it is. Now, this is why I was talking about color. This part of the engine, it just sits right on. I did not need to glue this at all, and I'm not going to, which means that later on what I may do is do a little bit of research on the color of the bundle of snakes and go back with oils and heat shade them, right? So do the heat discoloration from them. Just maybe I'll try to approximate that a little bit better than I did here. But I got this far. There's one more part to put on, and I go get it. It's this clear part here. Again, didn't need glue. Just stick it on. It's press fit. And then that's pretty much as far as I've gotten here. Like I said, I will probably go back and do some research on the color of the bundle of snakes and some more of the color on the engine. I do know, guys who are experts, that this is probably not 100% accurate, but it's where I've gotten to this point. Okay, and that's carried us through to pretty much doing the engine and up through step 7, 8, 9, and 10. So I just got done putting these final touches on putting the engine. I did go back and sand down between the two pipes there just to I did see more seam work there that bugged me. I do want to go ahead and hit this again with a wash just to draw out some of these details. I'm still not sure what's going to show, what's not going to show, and I need to kind of check that out because I'm not sure what's going to happen back here. These probably need to be touched up. You can see where I've got the light blue that needs to get touched up with dark blue. And this is still trying to figure out how all this goes together and what's visible, what's not. I know I have the engine, I don't want to say the engine deck, but come on, screw pieces are stuck here. So this piece here is going to drop onto here, so I know I don't need to worry about what's inside there, right? But this, I believe, pops up with, yeah, so this rocks up when the back part flips up. So I'm gonna need, now that I think about it, I will need to fill those in and cover them up. But this needs to get painted, and I'm gonna need to figure out how to do that to match this dark blue, because that's you know what, that's a later video me problem. Anyway, I'm not making a lot of rapid progress on this particular. Sorry about that. I'm not making a lot of rapid progress on this particular model, mostly because it goes together using techniques I'm not used to doing. So I am very much not accustomed to the figuring out the painting in the manner that I am. Now I do sub-assembly paintings. I build aircraft and so forth. So, you've got to build a cockpit and things. And I think my problem here is I don't have a visual of how this all goes together. I've looked through the instructions. I get it. I see it, right? So I can read instructions. I'm engineer by trade, so I can do that. But for some reason, I'm having a real hard time visualizing the final product. And I think it's my unfamiliarity with just this particular type of subject. And that's part of the cool learning process with building this one. So with that said, I am going to tap out for this week. Like I said, we are now finished at step 10, step 11, and I've already base coated the seats. So I will go back and we'll do, starting with the next video, we'll pick up on step 12, putting the seats together. And then we'll end up going through and finishing up all of this, the interior part of the cockpit. I want to figure out, I kind of am a little anxious about getting to the point where I start putting the transfers onto the body. I think part of that's sort of bugging me too. Not so much bugging me as it's making me antsy, right? Because I want to get to it, and I feel like I'm sort of on edge till I get there. So I'm trying to slow down and just be patient and visualize what I'm doing here. So next step, I'll go back through, redetail these pieces up through here, get the colors in a little bit cleaner, and then we'll pick up step 12 next time. I hope this little journey is entertaining. You car guys, again, please feel free to venture up some helpful suggestions. I'm always listening. I appreciate it. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. Happy modeling.